Hello and welcome to this new video from me. Today we will face down a historical player. It's Alessio Fuscà. He had really good results across the years he has played in, and what makes him a historical player? The reason why I call him a historical player is that he achieved something no other player ever did, and that is going 15-0 in Swiss. Yes, you heard it right. He was able to go 15-0 in the Swiss stage back in Bologna regionals. And it was a crazy thing to see, especially with the team he used. He used Ogapon Wellspring, Terrapagos, Dragapult, but a support Dragapult with Thunder Wave, not the more common choice band set, Comfy, Incineroar, and I think Rillaboom. These should have been the six, but incredible result, honestly. Like 15-0, that's literally something that no other player ever did in Swiss, and that's why he is a historical player, and that's why I want to play against him today. And I'm using a team that was able to top cut the last regional championships, the Vancouver regional championships, and it features two very unique Pokemon. And it is not Zacian. I meant Rotom Wash and Okidogi. This team was piloted by John Ulises Serrano Albuerne. If I pronounce it wrong, I apologize. But he was able to go to top 32 with this exact team. And honestly, it is very cool because Rotom Wash is a Pokemon that kind of is forgotten nowadays. And Okidogi is a Pokemon that just a very, very, very few players played in Regulation G, so I'm really looking forward to test out this team. But let's start with a restricted first. Our team is built around Zacian. Zacian crowned, of course, with a rusted sword. And the moves Iron Head, which turns to Behemoth Blade. You cannot play Behemoth Blade on your Zacian. But if you have the Rusted Sword equipped, this move will automatically turn into Behemoth Blade. We've also got Play Rough as a second step and Sacred Sword to hit Steel types and Incineroar with. And I'm running a spread. I should showcase it as a Zacian crowned form, I think. That's better because then you can see the stats that it actually has in-game. 209 speed to outspeed all the 135 base speed Pokemon. You know the drill: Fluttermane, Koraidon, Miraidon, Chiampao. You also get Iron Bundle, which has 206, and also Shadow Rider, which might speed creep on just Red with 207. That's why we played 209. With this spread, we survive a +1 Life Orb Astral Barrage, as well as a Terra Water Surging Strikes from Urshifu, also a Rain Boosted Surging Strikes from Urshifu, and that is pretty cool. I just had to drop a little bit in attack, but we still have an attack stat of 300, basically. Once the Intrepid Swords activates, we are +1 attack. The interesting part about this Zacian, compared to all the other ones, is that it is running Terra Water. You more often see either Terra Fairy to boost up play rough damage, or Terra Ground to be immune to the Electro Drift from Zacian. From Miraidon with Zacian. But instead we see Terra Water, and Terra Water is really nice into Cataract's Ice, helps against Urshifu obviously, and it also helps to get rid of a fire weakness in general. So Terra Water, really nice defensive type for Zacian, but the problem is Intimidate, right? You can get intimidated, and that's why we have 5 Pokemon that hit Incineroar for super effective damage. No, 4 Pokemon. I counted Zacian with Sacred Sword, but still, you don't want to face down Incineroar with your Zacian. But we've got Rotom Wash, Okidogi, Urshifu, and Landorus. But let's start with Rotom Wash. Rotom Wash saw a ton of play in Generation 5 and Generation 6. A little bit of play in Generation 8 with Dynamax, but basically no play in Generation 9. So that's why I think it's really cool to see it right now. Terra Steel with Levitate makes sure that you hardwall Landorus Eye, for example, which could be an issue for Zacian if it is the choice scarf set, or if the opponent has Tailwind up and you don't have it. With Terra Steel, Rotom Wash, you don't have to worry about Landorus at all, because you are immune to the poison type moves, and you are also immune to the ground type moves. And even without Terra, you are a very good Pokemon for Calyrex Ice, because you are immune to high horsepower and you resist the Glacial Lance. And we are also having the safety goggles on the Rotom Wash to have a good board state against Amoonguss plus Calyrex Ice, which is a very common duo on Cali Ice teams. I'll be right back, my doorbell. Sorry for the little cut, someone rang on my door. Anyways, I invested with Rotom to survive 2 +1 Glacial Lances +1 Pollen Puff from Cali Ice Amoonguss. And Will-O-Wisp is pretty cool because you hit Cali Ice with Will-O-Wisp, and if they go Terra Fire, you've got a super effective Hydro Pump. Foul Play helps a ton into Ice Rider as well. Can also help into Shadow Rider. I'm not sure if you bring Rotom Wash into Shadow Rider. I think you have better options into Shadow Rider with like Zacian, Tornadus, Okidogi, and Urshifu. But at least there's some sheet pressure for the Cali Shadow as well. I'm running a spread that makes sure that we outspeed Timid, Max Speed, Ursaluna, Blood Moon. We have a bump in defense and just max HP because the base HP of Rotom is so low, so every single point matters. Next up, we've got a Tornadus. Tornadus is a very common partner on Zacian teams because with Tailwind, you make sure that you match opposing Tailwinds, and you also boost up the speed of all other Pokemon on your team. And another nice application for Tornadus is that it has Rain Dance. So you don't have to go Terra Water on Zacian to get a Fire Resist. You can also go Rain Dance to weaken Fire type damage. And Taunt is also really good to shut down Terrapagos, Amoonguss, some Trick Room setters, so that's why we're also having Taunt on the Tornado set. Terra Dark is just the most common Terra to be immune to Prankster Anchor, Prankster Taunt, and get a Astral Barrage, or in general a Ghost Resist. I'm just running max speed because I really want to outspeed all Ogapon, because we also saw Focus Sash Ogapon seeing some play at Vancouver. There's Ogapon Cornerstone, there's Ogapon Halflame, right? And I want to outspeed all of those so that I can double up with Bleak Wind Storm and Behemoth Blade on all of them. So that's why we are running max speed on the Tornadus, but I still wanted to have as much bulk as possible. But I realized I wanted to have both defense and special defense, and that's why I don't play like 100 HP, 156 defense or something. Just almost max HP and 444, because overall bulk on this Tornadus can matter a lot. Then the next interesting Pokemon on that team is this Okidogi. The cool part about Okidogi is if your opponent switches to Incineroar to drop the attack from Zacian, it boosts the attack from Okidogi. This is what Guard Dog does. It is immune to Intimidate, and it gets an attack boost if it gets intimidated. So basically like Defiant, not quite, because it only works against Intimidate. You are also you stay on the field if the opponent clicks War or Whirlwind. Not super relevant because there are not a ton of moves. I guess we saw War Farigiraf getting finals of EOAC, but it is very unlikely that against Miraidon, the Farigiraf will click War into your Okidogi slot. So this interaction is not super common, but the +1 attack with Intimidate is just very good. And we are running a moveset, Upper Hand to stop Fake Out, which is so huge. You also stop other priorities and let your opponent flinch, which is amazing. You can go for Upper Hand. If they go for Fake Out, they flinch, and if they don't go for Fake Out, your partner Pokemon gets an attack off. We are also having both stab moves, Drain Punch and Gunk Shot. You could also run Close Combat instead of Drain Punch, but Drain Punch just makes sure that this Okidogi stays longer on the field. And the last move is Knock Off. For Shadow Rider, it's really good, but it is also good for Terra Ghost and Cineroar, which would otherwise resist all the moves. It hits Kelly Ice for super effective damage, and a Dark type move on a fighting poison Pokemon is smart, because otherwise you cannot hit ghost types, and you also threaten the psychic types, which otherwise threaten you for 4 times effective damage. We're running Terra Grass probably to just have a Spore immunity and get a Searching Strikes resist, because we resist close combat before, and that is pretty cool. I chose this EV spread because Okidogi has to deal as much damage as possible. We are 1 point faster than Scarf, Adamant, Urshifu in Tailwind. You could say you should outspeed Modest Geo in Tailwind or Modest Landorus in Tailwind. You could go for that. Then you need 115 speed. That's why I have 115 speed on Rotom Wash as well, because Modest Choice Scarf Landorus with max speed has 229 speed. So you need 115 in order to outspeed it. But with this spread, I guarantee to survive a Mystic Water, Terra Water, Searching Strikes from Urshifu, and that kind of combination with Mystic Water and Terra Water sees a ton of play nowadays, and that's why I wanted to make sure that I don't faint to that. And next up we've got Urshifu. Urshifu, also a very common partner for Zacian, threatens Incineroar, has Terra Grass to resist Grassy Glide and Thunderclap. We can boost up the damage with Rain Dance from Tornadus, and I'm running a spread I was running 2 years ago at the World Championship. I survive a Dazzling Gleam from Fluttermane with this spread. If a max special attack, let's say Focus Sash Fluttermane with max special attack, Dazzling Gleam does not KO Urshifu, and we also survive a max special attack Terra Fairy Moonblast, as well as a Beats of Ruin Moonblast if we go Terra Grass. For the Dazzling Gleam roll, you don't have to Terra, by the way, and it's not a roll. We still get the bump in attack, and we are max speed to make sure that we outspeed Calyrex Shadow Rider by 1 point. Because I feel like it can come up quite often that you have Urshifu in an endgame against Calyrex Shadow, and there you have to be faster. I know some players also play just 140 speed on their Choice Scarf Urshifu. That way you hit 210 speed, so you still get the 209 speed Zacian, I guess, as well as Shadow Rider, but it's just such a high gamble, and I think the Shadow Rider matchup is not amazing, and that's why I opted for max speed on this Urshifu instead. And last but not least, my most common Landorus spread, because with this spread you survive a Terra Stellar close combat if you go Terra Water from Urshifu, and you survive just a ton of things in general. Terra Water, Mystic Water, Searching Strikes into Aqua Jet, and you get the bump in special attack and 140 speed to make sure that you outspeed Smeargle and other Pokemon that run around this speed range. I guess you can also mention make speed Raging Bolt, but there's also some Urshifu, some Ogerpon, some Terrapagos, mainly Choice Specs Terrapagos White, and that's why I'm running this kind of Landorus spread. Landorus is another Pokemon that pairs up really nicely with Zacian, because Zacian struggles against fire types, and Landorus can remove them, which is really neat. Zacian also removes the ice types that threaten Landorus on the other hand. So that's why this kind of combination or duo is also really good. And I'm really looking forward to play this team now, because maybe we face a matchup where we can both bring Rotom Wash and Okidogi, because these are kind of the Pokemon I really want to bring, because you never see them. But let's see what Alessio Fuscà is going to bring. I will try my best to win, because my record currently is really good. Can I improve it even further? Let's find out. Alrighty, have fun to Alessio. But what are my eyes? Like, what? Okay, he has covered Cloak Terrapagos with Terra Starstorm, Flamethrower, Calm and Protect. He has a Comfy with Draining Kiss Throw with Healing Trick Room Protect. A Soul Dressed Azumarill, Terra Stellar, Expert Belt, Iron Boulder. Incineroar with Goggles and a Rocky Helmet, Teal, Ogerpon. I mean, Okidogi hits every single Pokemon for super effective damage. What should I say? Like, Okidogi looks pretty nice. Honestly, Okidogi is the MVP here for sure. We could lead something like Okidogi Tornadoes. Does knock off one-hit KO Boulder. Okidogi against Iron Boulder. What the flip? Knockoff does not one-hit KO it. That's not amazing. Mighty Cleave, Psycho Card, Sacred Sword, Protect. Okay. We bring Zacian for sure. Do we want to lead with Zacian? Maybe I lead with Zacian Okidogi. I bring Torn in the back. Should I bring Rotom? Nah, I will bring Urshifu for game 1. Just to deal with the Terrapagos a little better. But wow, he is playing something crazy. With a very similar team, he made that 15-0 run in Bologna. Just Dragapult over Azumarill and yeah, it's a different Ogapon form. Okay, Terrapagos, Ogapon. And we lead with Zacian Okidogi. He has Flamethrower with Terrapagos, so that's a little scary, but my Zacians should survive 1. My first lead with Tornadoes Okidogi would have been better. I did not expect this kind of lead. I thought he leads Iron Boulder for sure, because I feel like my other lead was just so obvious. Anyways, Terra Flamethrower does not KO. Do I double the Terrapagos? I could also click Gunk Shot, Protect. Because he might click Follow Me Call Mind. I don't think he clicks Spiky Shit Call Mind because the double up on the Terrapagos is so obvious. Yeah, Follow Me. I didn't want to take Rocky Helmet damage. That's why I went for this play instead. And we connect. Nice. And we also see that our Okidogi is faster than the Terrapagos. He goes for Call Mind. Fair enough. I can double the Terrapagos. Incineroar. Or do I click Upper Hand? He could go Terra Ghost. But then he cannot Terra the Terrapagos anymore. He could go for Will-O-Wisp as well. I just have to break the Terra Shell. Because then I KO it with Close Combat from Urshifu. That's why I will just Drain Punch, Behemoth Blade. Even... Okay, we see a Terra. That's Incin, right? Yeah. But now Knockoff is super effective. How much does a Knockoff do? Oh, okay. He burns my Okidogi. Fair enough. Fair enough. Man, Knockoff could have OKO'd the Incin if he is not physically defensive. But I just dodge with Willow now. Tough. Sad. But I should still do a ton, right? I mean, I'm +1 attack. I assume I still do like good amount. He can have Comfy though, but I can just click Drain Punch, Behemoth Blade. With Behemoth Blade, I break the shell. I do not click Sacred Sword because Behemoth Blade is resisted anyways. So yeah, I feel like this is a good play. As long as this does, like, as long as the combination does more than 50, Terrapagos cannot heal itself back up to full with Floral Healing. There goes the Behemoth Blade. That's not bad. And there goes the Drain Punch. Oh, Okidogi, you're so strong. Okay. Flamethrower does not KO. Oh! Oh! This is so bad. And his last is coming. It was guaranteed over if... It was over if this didn't burn. Oh. That is annoying. Oh. If he goes for protect and takes a KO on the Zacian, that's good for me. Okay, flow healing is also good, as long as I connect the gunk shot. Oh, he gets the 10% burn. Gunk shot should KO. Come on, okie dokie. Nice. So now Terrapagos is stuck on that range, so close combat from Urshifu KOs. I'm not to go into Urshifu here because why? No, because of fake out. Well, that took a while. I'm just thinking about, do I set up Rain Dance? Because I'm not allowed to lock myself into close combat, because then I lose to Incineroar. So I think I just click Rain Dance, Drain Punch. Then I can also not miss my Bleak Wind anymore. Yeah. Sounds good. He probably clicks Fake Out into Okidogi and Terra Starstorm into Tornadus, is my guess. That's the Fake Out. We set up the rain. He goes for Terra Starstorm into Okidogi. That did a ton. Way more than I anticipated. But here I can just click. Knock off Bleak Wind. If he doesn't tag, then Terrapagos dies to... I'm not Terra Water on the Urshifu. Hold on. How much do I do to Terrapagos? With Surging Strikes in Rain. Enough. Definitely enough. After Bleak Wind Storm, it's in range for sure. So I can click Knock Off to get Instant in range as well. I do not need Terra Grass on my Urshifu, so might as well just click Terra Dark to take less damage from the knockoff. It doesn't matter because I died to Terra Starstorm and knockoff anyways, but you never know. Yeah, he doesn't protect. I forgot that he has a Core Mind active, but this is still range for Surging Strikes. Terra Starstorm, boom, and knockoff. I'm pretty sure this is range for Surging Strikes. I could have just clicked Drain Punch into the Terrapagos, because that way I guarantee that the Tornadus survives. He could have protected and I guess knocked the Tornadus regardless. I like, it doesn't matter. I'm confident that the Surging Strikes KOs. I'm very confident in it. My guess is that the first hit does 20%. Yeah, because you saw how much this Flamethrower did, you saw how much these Terra Starstorms did. He is not physically defensive. He has more special attack investment than usual. I mean, what does than usual mean? He has flamethrower and not substitute. Like on substitute, it makes sense to play a ton of bulk, ton of physical defense, but on flamethrower you want to have special attack as well. And with that we win game 1. No Iron Boulder, surprisingly. Like Iron Boulder was the scariest one in my opinion. So yeah, let's see. No Azumarill makes sense, but Azumarill has a good typing into Urshifu. Okidogi is the star of the team. At least in this matchup. Can I bring Rotom? Rotom is not good into Terrapagos. Rotom is not good into Comfy. Ogapon. I wish I could say it's Rotom time, but like I could bring Rotom for content, but I don't want to throw. Like it's obviously throwing. You saw how important the other four were. Or I could bring Landorus, I guess, instead of Taunt, since the team is so slow anyways. But Taunt is also not bad. I will start with Taunt Okidogi this time. Yeah. I bring Zacian in the back as well as Urshifu. Or do I bring Landorus? I'm just scared that he gets a Calm Mind off again and that Landorus doesn't do enough damage against Terrapagos. Like, both Pokemon have their merits. I go with Urshifu. Bringing the fighting type into Terrapagos should not be a bad idea. Yeah. This was a clean game 1, but we also connected every gunk shot. Okay. There's so much stuff that is going on this turn. I can taunt both targets, okay? He can go for Will-O-Wisp, he can go for Fake Out. Like, I think... Can I click Taunt, Drain Punch? I'll go for... He expected me to click knockoff or upper hand, probably. Like, with upper hand, I cover Fake Out. With knockoff, I cover Terra Ghost. Oh, he survives. I should have clicked Bleak Wind. You saw how I hovered Bleak Wind at the beginning, right? But what I wanted to say is that I'm a little surprised with this didn't KO. But I can do this now. I'm going for this combination of moves because it's not unlikely that he switches Incineroar to Comfy or maybe to Ogapon, because he needs to keep Fake Out for Urshifu as well as Intimidate. And he has no Gunk Shot switch. And unless he switches to Iron Boulder on that slot now. It's not super unlikely that he switches to Iron Boulder if he boarded. %. Okay. Nice. Oh, okie dokie, my goat. So again, the Terrapagos is stuck without Terra Shell. No more Floral Healing. Interesting Core Mind. Because I feel like Taunt would have been a good play as well. Like Taunt Gunk Shot was also kind of free. I wanted to click Bleak Windstorm so that Ogapon also dies for sure. Okay. Ogapon switches in now. I will just click Bleak Windstorm Drain Punch because, yeah, I think Bleak Windstorm Drain Punch is good because he probably clicks Spiky Shield, and if he clicks Follow Me, the Ogapon dies. Then he has to switch into instant. Then he has like no pivots anymore, and that's why Bleak Windstorm Drain Punch is the best play. Also, if he goes for Protect and Ivy Cudgel, he takes the Bleak Windstorm, and both my Pokemon resist Ivy Cudgel. He could go for Taunt into my Tornadus, but that would also be fine. So that's why Bleak Windstorm Drain Punch is a really good play here. I assume that it KOs the Ogapon. Okay, he goes for Spiky Shield. But not for Protect. The Bleak Windstorm connects, and this Terrapagos takes so much damage now. And he goes for the baby Terra Starstorm into Okidogi, doesn't KO. Now I just gotta make sure that I don't throw this game. I can just click the same again, right? Yeah. No need to go for any fancy predicts. Yeah, that's why. I could have like went for, I don't know, Terran Drain Punch into the other side. I don't know. It was a good matchup. I'm talking like it's over. It should be pretty over, but let's see. Bleak Windstorm hits. I think a miss would have been better. Because then next turn I have Covered Cloak, Prankster, Taunt, Drain Punch into Okidogi. And let's say he fake outs Okidogi and clicks Terra Starstorm into Okidogi, KOs my Okidogi. Then he is taunted, and then I can just click Behemoth Blade with my Zacian into that slot. Now I just have to make sure that I get damage on the Ogapon so that it's in Behemoth Blade range, so that, or close combat range from Urshifu. With Bleak Windstorm I do not guarantee that, but with Tailwind, Drain Punch I do. Because this should get the... as long as the Ogapon gets in Behemoth Blade range, I have a guaranteed win. He didn't click Follow Me, which I respect. I guess he went for like that I just click Bleak Windstorm again, so he Ivy Cudgels my Ogapon, my Okidogi. Okidogi feints. I miss Bleak Windstorm, double miss. He KOs my Torn with Terra Starstorm, and then he has Follow Me with Rocky Helmet, right? So I respect the thought, but it wasn't enough. Nah, just kidding. Yeah, Bleak Windstorm, Gunk Shot. GG to Alessio. Was a really cool team, but Okidogi just showed why Okidogi is something people should have in mind now, and prepare your Okidogi matchup for Stockholm, for Atlanta. I think that's also a regional in Australia soon. I guess Melbourne, Sydney, something like that. Prepare your Okidogi matchup, guys. So yeah, GG to Alessio. Unfortunately, he was not able to showcase the strengths of this very offensive cover cloak Terrapagos, but as you can see here on the screen, he had a 15-0 I can't still get over it. That is so insane. Unfortunately, I can't do the same because currently we are only having 12 Swiss rounds max. Maybe they will change the structure in the future again. What do you think about the current tournament structure? Do you think it's nice that there are less rounds or less Swiss rounds in general, and the asymmetrical top cut? Because back in Bologna it was just a top 8 cut. I remember that tournament very well because I got 9th and bubbled on opponent percentage against Hippolyte Bernard, Alessio's top 8 opponent. If this didn't happen, like if I just had 1 more percent of resistance, then I would have played against Alessio in top 8. But it is what it is. It's all in the past, and now we are looking forward to the future. Next week we've got the Stockholm Regionals. I'm really excited to see what will happen there because last year I won the Stockholm Regional Championship, so let's see who wins it this year. I hope you're also looking forward to it. Next week I will play against a very, very familiar face as well. So I already have an opponent in mind and I already have a team in mind. But I still take every suggestion for future teams, future opponents. So if you have any idea on who I should battle next or which teams I should use, feel free to write that in the description, not in the description, but in the comments below. You can find the paste and rental in the description below, as always. And one last thing, I would really appreciate if you would check out my Ultimate Guide videos as well, because I spent so much time creating those. But yeah, that being said, I will see you next time in whichever video it might be. Until then.